Hello, Lois. How are you? For those of you that are new here, my name is Danielle, and for the next 22 days, we're going to be doing a series around inner union and the importance of focusing on inner union as the bigger picture of creating a sacred divine partnership and union in our physical lives. Okay. So some of you might be working just on your own internal energies, your own individual path. Some of you may already be in a relationship and just wanting to strengthen the connection and the partnership. And others of you may have had a divine counterpart initiation. Many of you may know this as like a twin flame initiation. And there's lots of different reasons that may have brought you here today. But most importantly, if you're here, this is about being able to strengthen our outer relationships and embodying more and more true love in ourselves and in our lives so that we can embody those things within ourselves and then be able to create that in our world. And if you already have created that, these are just ways that we can strengthen it for ourselves. Or, I know there might be some of you here that also work with clients or have your own businesses in this arena. So these practices, these messages, these energies may support you in facilitating showing up in new ways for that as well. Okay. So many, many things came in once I was guided and committed to doing this series. And some of the topics that came in out of the gate were our ability to actually receive these loving energies. And so I just want to bring in that energy and the essence of receptivity for all of us to be able to receive the highest messages and supports for each and every one of you who will ever watch this. And just setting that intention that your higher self knows exactly what you need. And so always trust that above all else, no matter what is shared here, no matter what that brings up for you, it gives you an opportunity to sit with the messages and tune in to what resonates for you, what you might have already moved through, what might be something that you haven't experienced yet, but you can kind of log and say, hey, maybe down the road, this will make sense for me. Whatever it is, whatever happens or occurs for you, just like I said, always trust yourself above all else. I love to get your comments and your feedback, so please feel free to do so. And I do my best to interact with all of those. So, welcome. And I just want to ask to bring in the highest, most beneficial messages around inner union today as we focus our energy and attention on our internal masculine and feminine energies, as well as any relationship that might come up into your mind or that you've set the intention around for this video. Okay. So it might be one person that comes up, it might be multiple people. You might find that you connect with it for yourself and others at the same time, depending on how you like to process things. Sometimes I listen to videos for myself and then I listen to it for relationships. Sometimes I'm able to make those connections in the moment and kind of see how it fits into multiple places. So, all right. I would like to just ask for the highest, most beneficial message once again. You guys can laugh at me. For those of you who have been here with me, you know I've done many videos, but I feel a little bit of anticipation and excitement around this series. And so I'm a little bit out of my normal comfort zone. But I actually think this is a really good thing because it's helping me to expand and grow and share in new ways, which will benefit all of us, I hope. Okay. Okay, so the divine masculine is really coming through first, quite significantly. Wow. Okay. I wasn't going to use the cards, but sometimes it just helps for me to move out of the way energetically and just allow higher spirit to come through, which I do connect in those ways. But let's see what happens. Okay. So, from an internal perspective, our divine masculine internal energies are what we've typically, many of us, even feminines, have been operating in for a majority of our life. What I've come to notice is that even wanting to drop into my feminine receptive energies, I've had to develop and strengthen my divine masculine energies. Because what happened before learning this was that I would go into my receptive energies, right? We go into our receptive energies, but if we don't feel safe in the external world or something comes around and we don't feel safe, our masculine energies will go right into play and put up walls and protect our inner feminine. Okay. Which, of course, we want our internal masculine to protect our internal feminine. Whether we're a masculine or feminine in physical form, no matter how you identify, we are masculine and feminine. If you stop and think about it, it took a masculine and a feminine to create you. No matter which way you slice it, a man and a woman genetically had to come together, the sperm and the egg, to create each and every one of us. You have half of your father's DNA, half of your mother's DNA. Therefore, you are masculine and feminine essences combined. Okay. So when we don't have those bigger divine masculine or divine feminine energies available, in the sense that our parents only were able to provide for us whatever they had in their system. And so many of us learned from the survival ways that our parents knew or our grandparents. So we don't necessarily have those higher divine masculine, divine feminine templates in our day-to-day life on a consistent basis. That's not to say mom and dad weren't embodying any of those qualities. It's just that this is a big part of the process of what we're doing. So if we don't have those divine masculine and divine feminine essences fully in our energetic systems, we're kind of just learning as we go. So what happens is feminine or masculine, our masculine energies go to protect the rest of our feminine energies. And if we're triggered, a lot of times it would be coming from a very protective, sometimes what is considered wounded masculine energy. Okay. And in this wounded masculine energy, we might put up walls, we might run, we might hide, we might go into battle mode or warrior mode, right? Which is not to say that those aren't appropriate at times, they are. But if you think about it from an energetic standpoint, this can happen sometimes when we're not actually in danger, but it's a perceived danger or a perceived discomfort of a memory that we've had in our system previously. But as we learn to work with these inner energies, we can allow our masculine energy to protect our feminine energy, but in a way that isn't repelling and stopping us from receiving the support, the love, and the kindness, and the camaraderie and partnership that we're wanting. Okay. And this comes into an important play because if you're a feminine who's wanting to receive the love and support and care of a divine masculine, but your own internal masculine is so protective, an external masculine can't even get to you. You see where I'm going with this? This is why it's important to work with our internal energies, our internal union, because as you allow your internal masculine energy to become strong and confident and protective, but at the same time, open and receptive to a degree, right? Open and receptive to what's actually in alignment with you. So allowing the masculine energy to kind of be the gatekeeper, so to speak, to have those cushions. I like to say cushions instead of protection, but I'll tell you why. Because my brain interprets protection as like shields, walls, and all of those things. Where my inner masculine and feminine agreed on cushions because they're like the way I see the cushions is soft and cushiony, but also has like a protective mechanism, almost like a cloaking device, like they have on um, Wonder Woman. You know how the whole island, for any of you guys have seen it, they have like that bubble of protection that keeps all the good in, but it also like anything that might be harmful to them can't even see them, right? Like the energy has to be in the correct frequency for those things to align. And so it's kind of like that type of cushioning energy that allows us to still be open, allows us still to be prepared and ready and open to receive the energies that are in alignment with us. But then there's also that protection or cushion in place around our standards so that just not anyone or anything or any energies are getting into our field. And this actually, in my discovery energetically, because for those of you guys who don't know me, I work very, very deeply in the energetics and the subconscious fields within my own energetic systems, past lives, ancestral patterns, all of those things. And so when I looked within my own system, a lot of this goes back to the core separation wound, which is the core separation wound from our highest creator. And also in the physical world, our separation from our either masculine or feminine counterpart or connection, which we internalized as the loss of our own internal energies. Okay. And this is where working with those parts of ourself really can help support us in going into more and more full soul retrieval and self-acceptance of all of who we are. So as we go through this journey of inner union, we're calling back all of our energies to ourselves. Okay. And for those of you who are on a divine counterpart twin flame journey and believe that you have another part of yourself on the planet and you're working towards coming back into union, working in this energy is also going to facilitate and support that process as well. But I want to focus mostly on the masculine and feminine energies because this topic, yes, it's going to be connected to and popular with those on a divine counterpart twin flame journey. But in all truth, this is for every human on this planet. Because, like I said, we're all made of these essences. We're all this energy. We all have that core separation wound in our system. We all have that separation from creator in our system. I guess I'm saying all, at least that I'm aware of. I think maybe my intuition also says some of the younger ones being born now are not having to come in with these types of wounds. I'm hopeful. And I'm also hopeful that as those of us who are working on these for the planet, they don't have to. That doesn't have to be their job because it's our purpose in healing those core wounds. So as we do it, it will help facilitate that healing for the collective, which allows the younger generations to benefit from the work that we're doing. And I really believe this, not just because of my intuitive sense, but I've actually seen the results of this with friends and clients that I've worked with that are working deeply on themselves that have kids. And you can see the results in the positive support that it's providing for the younger generations and allowing them to not have to wade through so much of the distortion. They're able to like process it and move through it and learn very quickly where many of us, as you guys know, if you're anywhere near my generation or beyond, that we've had to come up in a lot of very heavy, dense energies. And now we're coming out the other sides of those as we're processing. So, yes, bringing it to those core wounds. I told you that's a big topic because I feel like what I've understood through my work and the depths of my work is that when we get to underneath all of the things that we've gone through, right? And we get more to the origin wound, and we're working with that. Like you can always set that intention to work with your core wound. What you may find if this is new to you, or if you've been doing it, but you're like, but it feels like there's still layers. This is part of it. If you have that intention to heal the core wound, okay, you will get there. You're already in process. And what's happening is you're kind of peeling and unraveling and dissolving the layers that happened since that core wound. Okay. And this is going back, I think, Atlantis, Lemuria, 26,000 years ago is that roundabout idea. At least this is the way that I've understood it. So I think that maybe one day I'll talk about that, where things started to fall in that Atlantis Lemuria time. If you guys are interested, I've worked pretty deeply in those pockets. If you're interested in that story, that origin story, and some of the things that I've understood about it, let me know in the comments because I'd be happy to share that. But if you're not really interested, I may just keep moving along onto another topic. Either way, whatever is the most supportive for you, along with whatever I'm guided to do, that's what we're going to do. Okay. So, also with that, if there's any questions, any comments, anything that you would like to learn about connected with inner union, your own inner divine masculine and feminine energies, along with how that connects to the external masculine or feminine relationship that you have in your life or are in the process of magnetizing into your field, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I would love to be able to provide any support and share some of the energies and wisdom that I have within me. It's a process that I am always learning about every single day, but it's a topic that I am exceedingly passionate about, and I have worked on it within myself for a very long time. But especially over these last 3 or 4 years, the energies on the planet have amplified in the support of this inner union and integration in ways that were not previously available for us. Okay, loves? I want to close out by just pulling one of the cards from this true love deck just to see where things are headed. And I hope this was all helpful. We got two. Beautiful. So I had divine masculine earlier. And in this, we have sacred woman and the gardener. Now, for me, this card really connects with white buffalo calf woman, and I have a deep connection with her. And if you guys, we talk about divine masculine and divine feminine, and I see those as like our higher self versions of our masculine and feminine essence. But for me, the language of sacred masculine and sacred feminine to me is about that deep, deep embodiment of our divine masculine and feminine essences within our physical form. So, as a feminine, embodying her masculine and feminine essences, her divine masculine, her divine feminine, she now is embodying into her sacred woman energies, sacred feminine energies. And for a masculine, working with embodying his divine masculine and divine feminine essences would be sacred masculine energies and essence. This is just how it resonates for me. There is an embodiment of those essences that I love that the garden came out, because it's like you feel planted, you feel solid, you feel grounded in that divine energy, coupled with and married with your very human physical world form. And it allows you to embody all of those essences. And this is another part of inner union. It's around bringing heaven and earth together and our masculine and feminine together. If you guys get a chance and you see the logo that I have, my Harmonious Hearts logo, I painted that in 2016 while channeling the essence of divine counterpart energies. And the whole entire form is around harmony, but it's also around connecting heaven and earth and the masculine and feminine essences internally first, right? And then as we embody that, we're sharing that out into the world. So as you come into that internal union, or you're working with it, it's a process, right? Like, we're coming into unconditional self-love and self-mastery. And it's not about it being perfect. It's about feeling into what that feels like for you and setting your intentions. And as you set your intentions and you begin working with those energies and essences, remembering and understanding that the process of embodying, the taking the time, the walking the journey, the going through the experiences is the opportunity. The experiences are the opportunity that allow you to become this sacred human. You're always a sacred human, but doing it in a way where you feel like you can own it with confidence. It's always been there. But through this process, we begin to feel comfortable in owning it, in knowing that it's true, because we can hear that we're sacred and divine and loving and God's children and all of those things. But have you really, really, truly embodied and felt that in every cell of your being, confidently owning it? Maybe you've experienced it at moments, that knowing, but imagine being able to just feel it inside of you and not even ever needing to speak it, and not feeling like you're in your ego, or that you think that you're better than anyone, but actually understanding, I'm about to cry, that by allowing yourself to embody this just in pure, authentic truth, you now hold that container, you hold that portal, you hold the codes for everybody else on this planet to remember that within themselves. And when we come into inner union mindsets and energies, we can hold the space for sacred partnership union, but also unity consciousness on this planet. And that, to me, is the purpose of all of this, regardless of your experience, of why you're evolving, why you're ascending, how you got here, which initiation you experienced, an awakening, a spiritual awakening, a twin flame initiation, a tower moment, whatever brought you here was designed to support you in being able to remember who you really are. And human beings are magnificent. The potential that we have, I'm aware that I am aware of a lot, and that I'm still not aware of the true potential of what we're capable of. But I'm going to tell you that we've barely scratched the surface, loves. And I'm excited to see what we create and what we do as we come into embracing our true selves, loving ourselves, loving all of the aspects of ourselves, because it's the number one key. It's really, truly the only way that you can love everyone else and show up in unity consciousness, is by holding that within your own selves for you. As you hold that in your own selves for you, now you can hold that with your neighbor, your friend, your children, your parents, your lovers. Okay? You feel me? Okay, I'm going to leave it here. I love you so, so much. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you're still here with me, and I'll see you tomorrow for part two. Peace.